welcome one and all in here, out there, all around the world to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. You know, thanks in large part to the former president, there's a whole industry of people who make a good living trying to make you think you're insane. Well, I make a very good living reminding you that you're not. Now, you would think that once the people gaslighting you on a daily basis have been revealed to be liars, say in multiple text messages and a $1.6 billion court filing by Dominion Voting Systems, they would pump the brakes. But apparently, some people are just addicted to being dicks. Case in point, Fox News host and toddler sucking on a dog turd, Tucker Carlson. Here's what happened. In order to become Speaker, Kevin McCarthy had to make a lot of stupid promises to a lot of awful people like Matt Gaetz. And one of those promises was to release 41,000 hours of Capitol surveillance footage from the January 6th riot because the Freedom Caucus helped cause that most tragic day in our nation's capital, and they desperately need someone, anyone, to create propaganda to make it seem like it was no big deal so they can stay in office and maybe do a better coup next time. And McCarthy kept his promise. He gave all that footage to Tucker Carlson, who last night cherry-picked innocuous clips to try to rewrite what we all saw happening with our own eyes on January 6th.
They were peaceful, they were orderly and meek. These were not insurrectionists, they were sightseers.
Sightseers? Sightseers, really? Grab a rock, honey, we're going to the Louvre. I want to peacefully smear my crap on the Mona Lisa. See if she keeps smiling after that. He lied some more.
Footage from inside the Capitol overturns the story you've heard about January 6th. Protesters queue up in neat little lines. They give each other tours outside the Speaker's office. They take cheerful selfies and they smile. They're not destroying the Capitol. They obviously revere the Capitol.
Yes, they obviously revere the Capitol so much that they queued up neatly to smash those windows. And we all remember their chant.
Wait your turn! Wait your turn! Wait your turn!
Tucker also talked about the Q shaman. Remember the guy with the horns, the rider who was caught, with the spear and the bare chest and the screaming? He, the Q shaman, had this to say about his own behavior on January 6th. He said, "I was wrong for entering the Capitol. I have no excuse whatsoever. The behavior is indefensible." Maybe so, but Tucker indefended him.
The single most famous person arrested that day was a Navy veteran from Arizona called Jacob Chansley, often referred to as the QAnon shaman. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides.
Okay, but the Capitol Police themselves said their officer only did that in order to de-escalate the situation because the officer was outnumbered. Evidently, Tucker Carlson has never seen a hostage negotiation. No one was scared of the man in the bomb vest. In fact, officials were saying they would give him whatever he wants. They ordered him pizza and gave him $1 million and a helicopter ride to go to the location of his choice. Is that really how you treat an enemy? Tucker also took issue with the footage from the January 6th committee that showed Senator Josh Hawley hauling ass. According to Tucker, that footage is deceptive.
The actual videotape shows that Hawley was one of many lawmakers being ushered out of the building by Capitol Hill police officers. And in fact, Hawley was at the back of the pack.
I stand corrected. Josh Hawley is not just some hypocritical coward. He's a hypocritical coward who runs slower than 70-year-olds. And may I remind you, just a couple little things, that's all. And may I remind you, those people were all running for their lives from what Tucker describes as meek sightseers. It reminds me of this scene from The Lord of the Rings.
And we're walking, and we're stomping, and we're stomping, and we're marching.
Where's the gift shop?
Tucker's fascist fanboying was such transparent propaganda that it didn't even play well with members of the GOP. North Carolina Senator Thom Tillis said this of Tucker's report.
I think it's bull. I was here.
Language. Senator, please. Nancy Pelosi, how would you describe it?
The poo-poo.
Yes. That's gentler. It's a kinder, gentler. Tucker can try to change the narrative all he wants, but we all know what we saw that day, including the man who cynically handed over this footage, Kevin McCarthy. Here's McCarthy calling in to Fox News in desperation on January 6th.
First of all, this is so un-American. I condemn any of this violence that's happening in the Capitol right now. Anyone involved in this, if you're hearing me, hear me very loud and clear. This is not the American way. People are being hurt. People are being hurt. There's been shots that have been fired. This is unacceptable. I watch barriers being broken. I watch people breaking windows. I watch people running into a building. You do not do what is happening right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm being told that we have Tucker's edit of McCarthy's phone call.
First of all, this is so American. Hear me very loud and clear. People are being acceptable. We should do shots.
Now, for something, baby shark doo 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 doo. For something that Tucker says didn't happen, there sure are a lot of people pleading guilty to doing it. Yesterday, the Justice Department arrests hit 1,000 in connection with January 6th. That's right, 1,000 arrests. Johnny, tell the American people what they've won.
Still no consequences for the man who incited the whole coup. We demand justice. And a new dinette set from Broy Hill. Broy Hill. Nothing means anything. Back to you, Steve.
And now, the feds have arrested the January 6th rioter dubbed Spider Nazi. Spider Nazi, did a coup and he got caught-see. Broke inside, thought he'd get off. He's a bug version of out off. Look out! Here comes the Spider Nazi. Listen, bud. This dummy's name is Brandon Kelly Dillard, seen here with the only women who will ever talk to him. Charges against Brandon Kelly Dillard are pretty bad, including illegal entry, disorderly conduct, and uttering loud, threatening, or abusive language in the Capitol building. Spider Nazi will be tried alongside his fellow knockoff superheroes, Captain Unmerica, and a group of mutants called the Never Had Sexmen. Of course, the guy who inspired Spider Nazi is running for president again. He's reportedly already eyeing potential running mates, and he wants somebody who is unfailingly loyal and bland enough that they don't steal any spotlight. That's right, blander than Mike Pence. Get ready for his running mate, Slice of Wet Bread 2024. But... Well, the former president is trying to win over suburban white women, so we might have to go Lady Bland. According to people close to him, he's strongly considering picking a female running mate, and reportedly, the current frontrunner is failed Arizona gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake, seen here wearing a blouse she shed last week. Fine joke. Quality joke.
Quality joke. I see what it
Quality
is.
joke. Gotta think.
Yeah.
That's a stroker. That's a stroker. Lake lost her election and refuses to admit it, but she has got one win under her belt this weekend. She won a straw poll for the Republican VP pick during CPAC. She must have been so honored to have MAGA voters choose her as the next vice president they try to hang. But Lake found a way to deny this election as well, saying through a spokesperson, "We're flattered, but unfortunately, our legal team says the Constitution won't allow for her to serve as governor and VP at the same time." That's a good point. Kari Lake is currently the sitting governor of the state of denial. Speaking...
Nice. Tell it like it is.
Sure. Sure. What's that? Is that good? What's that? Is that we're done? Speaking of dangerous idiots, Elon Musk is still running Twitter and technically running it into the ground because yesterday Twitter was hit with one of the biggest outages since Musk took over. During the app-wide outage, users could not access photos or links. That's rough. Everyone knows the links are the best part of Twitter because they take you away from Twitter. But Twitter, don't you worry. If you were worried, don't worry. Twitter's back up now, and after a quick investigation, it was revealed that just one engineer caused all those problems. And that person is the last remaining site reliability engineer. It's not their fault. There's only one guy. We have footage from inside Twitter headquarters of that engineer trying to keep up. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are James Taylor and Eva Longoria, but when we come back, meanwhile, won't you